Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape Bangalore, and on behalf of this channel I would like to wish each and every one of you a very happy Deepavali. And in today's episode we will be talking about the Epidendrum Radicans, or the 5-star orchid, or otherwise called the Crucifix Orchid. So this is a type of a terrestrial orchid that is native to Central America, and this plant is primarily grown for its bright orange to red flowers with yellow centers. I have read that this plant gives out other colors as well. However, with experience and with whatever I've seen, I have just seen the orange and the red varieties. If you are one of those people who think growing orchids is very difficult, then do not worry. Take this home, because this is one of those rare orchids which are very easy to grow, and it is not very fussy like the other orchids. So another characteristic feature of this plant are its roots as well as the long stems. This orchid has long cane-like stems, each with a terminal inflorescence, and it also has oval fleshy leaves. With the help of these long white roots, they cling on to the potting medium or any kind of medium to get that much needed support, because this plant grows really taller than the other orchids and it requires some support because it is a little floppy and falls off when it is windy. These orchids, just like the Spathoglottis plicata, gives out seeds, and you can propagate these plants with the help of seeds as well. However, I have never tried it because it is very easy to propagate this plant with just a stem cutting. The butterflies love this plant and they are the major pollinators of this plant. So now let us look at how to replant this particular plant in a container. So it would be advisable for you to get a container for this and not grow this in the ground or any other place, because this can tend to become a little weedy. So a controlled environment like a container like this would definitely be helpful. So the potting medium that I will be using for this particular plant would be these coconut husks and little bit of compost or a very minuscule amount of soil. You can also use some bark chips or charcoal or any of these medium to grow this plant, but I would avoid using a lot of ground soil, though I have read that this grows in the ground as well. I have not experienced it. I have not done this to my plant. The plant that is growing in my garden has only coconut husks and a little bit of compost as its potting medium. So this plant is called the Crucifix Orchid because if you carefully look at the flowers, then you would see a small cross. So now let us look at the other basic requirements for this plant. So this is a shade loving plant. However, do not keep this under very shady conditions where it does not get sunlight at all, but I would suggest that you either place this in an eastward direction or a southwest direction. Do not place this under full sun because the leaves will burn and the plant would not do really well. However, if you place this under very shady conditions where it gets only 2 hours of sunlight, then it will not give out flowers at all. So for starters, I'm just using this banana as a fertilizer. So you can use organic waste, you can use vegetable peels to fertilize this plant. I would also suggest that you use a lot of compost. Compost will definitely increase the blooms of this plant, and the orange flower is an absolute treat to watch. So this plant will do really well if you water this very often. So this plant is a little more thirsty than the other orchids. So I would suggest that during the summer months water it twice, because anyway the potting medium is very drainage friendly, so a lot of water will go off. So water it twice and this plant would do really well. However, reduce watering during the winter months. Another interesting feature about this plant is, at least for me, this plant gives out a lot of flowers during the winter months. So I would generally want to call this plant a winter plant. With its long, beautiful inflorescence, this can be used in bouquet arrangements as well. And if at all you think growing orchids is not your cup of tea, then try getting this home instead. Thank you for watching Urbanscape Bangalore, and if you liked this video, then please do not forget to subscribe. Until we meet again, goodbye.